I'm gonna turn this thing around. Like, I'm not gonna walk anywhere and then people will like start pointing fingers at me.
I'd wake up in my sleep, and I lived with my sister then, and I'd go to her room and I was literally like, I couldn't breathe.
I Lency on fire mask, like, you know, the way Beyonce can be Sasha Fierce. Ignore your mental health.
Do not ignore your mental health.
I think it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. My head is big, oh.
Sa. Well, the hair is big, but your head is actually small.
Oh, my
you have
head is big.
you have a peanut head. Hello everybody, my name is Helen, aka Ordinary Fit Girl.
Have we started?
Yes.
No, it's not recording.
It is recording. We've done 40 seconds.
Oh my god.
Okay, let's cheers actually.
Cheers.
Apparently when you cheers, you have to look into the person's eyes, otherwise it's 7 years of bad sex. And,
I can't do that.
and I've had a lifetime already, so. Hello everybody, my name is Helen, aka Ordinary Fit Girl. I've lost 30 pounds, relocated to Accra. Welcome to today's video and welcome to my channel. Today I put a very special guest on the channel. I have got the absolutely stunning, the absolutely special, get into it, the absolutely delectable Abena Korkor.
Hey. Hi everyone. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. I'm eating my banquet tilapia.
I'll show you what's going on here,
some
guys.
banquet tilapia going on here.
Get into it.
Yeah.
I am not participating. I am, however, drinking some wine because you know your girl likes to drink. So, so I have some wine. Clearly, I've had a few sips, but I'm going to do a quick outfit change and then we'll get into it. So, as you can see, I have changed into some merch, but we'll talk about that at the end of the video. As I mentioned, I have Abena Korkor on my channel, and we actually met from filming on the Notorious show. Okay, look how fabulous. Give us a side view. Anita, hello. Hi, ladies. Oh, goodness.
I was feeling a little bit of CANDID. I wanted my nails to be
I'm a very big fan. I like all the shit that you represent. I feel like you're very different to a lot of Ghanaian women that I know.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like it's very difficult to live your truth in these parts, and you do it fearlessly.
Thank you.
And that's very refreshing.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to chit chat. I know we're both very passionate about mental health.
Yeah.
You probably more than I am a little bit because that is your actual like work.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I'm a project coordinator for Mental Health Society of Ghana, and also I founded a support group, Psychosocial Africa. So it's a support group for anybody with a mental health diagnosis or anybody that is interested in keeping their mental health in check. Yeah.
Ah, okay. And I know a lot of us need to keep our mental health in check. The mind, the brain is a beautiful but complex thing, and in our part of the world we need a lot more education, a lot more exposure, and a lot more like really candid conversations about what's going on up here, because people are ignorant about it, they're fearful, and it causes a lot of harm. As I have mentioned, maybe not on this channel, I'm not sure, but definitely on my radio show Keeping It Real, when we had Dr. Carol on there, I mentioned that I've been diagnosed with anxiety. It's something that I live with. I'm no stranger to panic attacks. I've taken medication for it, and I just know that a lot of people, especially young people, live with a variety of mental health conditions, and we should make it normalized, because everybody at some point will have some type of mental unwellness. Am I right?
Yeah. 1 out of 5 persons will have a mental health problem like in their lifetime.
Okay.
And you know, when we say like mental health problem, it doesn't mean okay you have to be diagnosed with a condition. You know, things will go on and like your mental health will be unstable, and so it will just, you know, go on the low, come back to normal. Like, just picture this scenario, like when you get regular headaches,
Yeah.
and you take your what do you call it, Tylenol for it.
Yeah.
And then there are people with, you know, chronic migraine that take medication every day. So you can have like, you know, a bad, you know, mental health day or period, but you might not be clinically diagnosed of any mental health disorder. And then there are people who actually have mental health disorders.
Gotcha. What is the mental health disorder that you are diagnosed with?
Okay, so I'm so cool. I've been diagnosed with bipolar disorder. Like, yeah, like, you know, bipolar is for only cool people, like the smartest people.
Actually, now that you say educate the oldies as well, my parents are in their 70s and sometimes they don't get it. But I was telling him, I was like, oh, you know, I was like, Abena Korkor is crazy smart. He was like, you don't know? All the bipolars, they're smart. He was like, you don't know Einstein? I didn't know Einstein was smart. And I found out, yes. You know, all bipolar. He goes, those guys, they're sharp.
You see that amazing music Kanye does? Kanye is bipolar.
Kanye is diagnosed
Demi Lovato is bipolar. This lady, Carrie Fisher. I think he was in Star Trek or so. He's like an amazing actor.
Diagnosed.
Also bipolar, lived with bipolar.
Okay, well, since you're so smart, what is 20 plus 5? Quick.
Only not 25.
But yeah, like, would you say that you're hella smart?
I am.
I mean, to be honest, it does take a rocket scientist. My mom watches you on the Lady Circle. She's like, so yeah, a lot of people do know that you are smart. You have an average of like a 3.1 GP.
Yeah, I've hit it. I've done a 3.7 before. I didn't graduate as a first class anyway, but I've done like, you know, 3.7 wherever you find me. You know, I produce first class, you know, stuff.
Give them.
Yeah.
And when were you diagnosed officially?
I was diagnosed officially at Accra Psychiatric Hospital in February 2015. Yeah, I think about the last week or two in February, because I think I had my relapse on the 17th of February, so a couple of days after I was diagnosed at Accra Psychiatric Hospital.
But what led you to go and get a diagnosis?
Okay, so I woke up one morning, like actually like dawn, and girl, you know.
I think you need a sip of. I think you need a sip of wine for this.
We the millennials.
Oh yeah.
We keep it real, but like I'm chatting with Helen, so it's for real hair.
It's for real hair. I don't keep any.
You know, we have a lot of zaddies, and you know. We're hella bootylicious, and like, you know, so we do some nice stuff, you know, for the daddies. So I had a lot of nice little videos that I usually send to zaddy.
To the zaddy.
And that's supposed to be secret, like that's supposed to be discreet, but because I was hitting a manic episode, my inhibitions were low. You know, inhibitions are like, it stops you from doing the crazy stuff, but the inhibitions were like almost zero. I'm like, oh, I have these videos on my phone, I'm gonna post them. And it was like, I had like a couple of arguments with some people, and I kind of blew it out of proportion. And like, you know, I made my own cut on Facebook, and like I was putting like all of our business on Facebook.
When you say all of the business,
yeah, like all of the business.
And I mean, not to interject, but I didn't live in Accra at the time that this was popping off. So the first time I met you, right, I had no idea who you were. I just knew you, like, you had a crazy nice haircut. You'd been to like Kenya for a mental health thing, and I was like, oh, this is the last who's on the show. So when I was watching it back with my mom was like, and also my business partner was like, you were filming with Abena Korkor. I was like, is this girl famous? I didn't know about the
famous for some really bad reasons, but like right now we're famous because we're talking about mental health a lot. You know, when life gives you lemons, squeeze them up and make some badass lemonade.
Add a bit of vodka if you're hella.
Vodka, like, yeah, or some tequila.
But like, obviously, so that happened, and then what did you think was going on at the time?
I just thought I had a hormonal imbalance. Like when I left Cape Coast, first thing when I got home, I'm like, I want to see my doctor. So I went to my general hospital, not general hospital, women's hospital, and they did some tests. The next day they were like, she's tipped off.
What kind of test did they do?
I don't really know what they did. I don't remember if they took my blood or they did a swab. I don't know. But like afterwards, they were like, you know, go to a psychiatric hospital. My parents should take me there. And we got there, and very few observations. That was wild. That was.
So what, on the day you got there, you were acting wild?
Yeah, very wild. I was just talking about a whole lot of stuff. Like when you're in your manic episode, like I could start talking like, oh, I have this nice dress, blah blah blah. Did you know Bill Clinton lost the election? Like, do you know that now one is back in town? And like,
so it could be anything.
It could be anything. Like you have racing thoughts. So like I start a conversation, the next 5 minutes I'm on to the next topic already. Okay. So I was like that, and I was very like easily irritated. Maybe like somebody like walks by, stares at me, I'm like, hey mommy, I didn't know share message, you know, that kind of thing. So I was like very easily irritated. I was talking a lot. I was very wild, and like, you know, when they were like, they are coming to admit me, that was when the lioness came out. Charlie, 4 security guys came trying to hold me down. I'm like, no.
So they actually physically restrained you?
Yeah, they had to. And then they gave me like 1 shot over here.
What was that shot of?
I think it was diazepam. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But like that thing knocked me out straight, and that's how they got me into the ward, and that's how my bipolar treatment journey started.
How old were you at that time?
I was 25.
Must have been a terrifying experience.
Yeah, it was. It really was. Like,
so before that, can they tell you, or would you have any idea how long, are you born bipolar or does it develop?
I think you're born bipolar. Like in most cases you're born bipolar. When I did my research, it says you have your first if it's never identified, or even if it's identified, you usually have your first manic episode in your 20s.
Okay.
So that thing was bound to come. Like,
okay.
There was
so
no
it's
way.
dormant, but then it will manifest.
It will
later.
manifest. It could be triggered by maybe a situation, a change in your life. I don't know. Maybe I was in love with somebody and somebody broke my heart. I don't know. Like,
probably what sparked the beginnings.
I don't know. I don't want to attribute my manic episode to any G.
To anybody.
They don't deserve it. No,
they
don't deserve it. Like it was my biology. It was just time for, you know, for things to be official, like you're officially bipolar.
Which is crazy because I actually can trace my first anxiety attack to be, I was in London, I was about 10 years old, and I was with my mom, and we'd gone to visit, I remember it so vividly because I went to hospital after that. We'd gone to visit my auntie, and I was at the foot of the staircase, and I remember for a second, like, nothing had happened though. I was panicking, my heart was racing, like, you know what, I started crying, but I was at the foot of the stairs, couldn't go upstairs, couldn't move. But when I went to the hospital, you know, when you're 10 years old, they're like, you know, what is wrong with you? My GP just said, oh, you know, sometimes when there's not enough oxygen in the brain, your brain can do some styles. I don't know what he was saying. He was waffling.
You have enough oxygen now.
not under this wig, no. And he was like, just do your breathing exercises and calm down. And that's the first ever time I remembered it kind of really bothering me. And then, to be honest, much like your situation, I really didn't have any other real physical manifestations until I was about maybe like 24, 25 as well. And then I started getting nocturnal panic attacks, which was super scary. And I also, at that time, had gotten bronchitis, which then gave me asthma. Wow. So it was at a point where I didn't know whether it was an asthma attack or a panic attack or both. But it was like back to back. I'd wake up in my sleep, and I lived with my sister then, and I'd go to her room, and I was literally like, I couldn't breathe. I'd be like kicking things all over the place, like holding on to it. I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. And it was happening night after night after night. So then I became afraid of sleeping. Wow. So then I'm up all day, up all night, and the fear of falling asleep is crippling me. Now actually last night I had another nocturnal panic attack, and I remember this because I actually woke up and I started slamming my laptop. Whoa. Because the feeling is that like you cannot breathe and that you're probably going to die. Wow. So I'm like clutching at things, and it can get a little bit
I'm sorry.
I know. Now that I'm talking about it, I feel a little bit, sad. I wasn't really here talking about me, but I thought, we're sharing.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people go through that. I've seen people have physical panic attacks on the train, when I've been on holiday, and my heart goes out to them, because in that moment, it honestly, to you, the person, it feels like you're going to die. You're not going to die. There are some things that you can do to kind of ground yourself. When I went to therapy last year, they suggested things like, physical touch, or like looking around at things you can identify. And like I say, I never use the word, oh, I suffer with anxiety. I live with it.
Yeah.
We live with a myriad of physical and mental unwellness.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to Miss Korkor. So that happened. How long did you have to stay in the psych ward for?
I think across psychiatric hospital, like, there's some renovations here and there, but that place is terrible for anybody with a mental health problem.
Oh no.
I saw my ward, I'm like, no, I know I'm a little local, but like this place is no good for me. So
oh no.
I stayed there for about a week, and then my school, like, authorities, my dean of students, Prof. Edja, wherever you are, thumbs up to you.
Hey, big up.
You were my person when I was
big
sick.
up yourself.
They came to visit me, and then when I got out of the ward, I'm like, I'm not coming back.
Okay.
And I gave them like a headache, and then eventually, like, they got me a bed at Kolibu.
That's better.
Has better, like, beddings, your bedroom is nicer, the common area is better. Sometimes it's a hassle to get to go for a walk, but when you get to go for a walk, it's nice. There's so many trees, you can go to all the departments, cardio, gynae, all that kind of things. So Kolibu is way better than Accra Psychiatry. So I went to Kolibu, so in total, let's say about a month.
Okay. And
then afterwards, like, I think I was home for a while. Then I went to a retreat center somewhere in the mountains. I was there for about 6 months.
Oh wow. No, wait.
I was like
6 months.
6 months away from the world and everything, like just trying to heal. And because my medications like took me through a lot. Like,
okay,
there were days like I'll have this big towel and it'll be wet, all from drooling, like,
okay,
the medication, I have spasms at night, like I wake up at night and I'll be shaking
from the medicines.
Yeah, from the medicines. It's the medicines are good for you, but sometimes they have to take you through like different maybe samples before they find the right one for you. So it took a while before I found what was right for me. Right now I'm taking only Tegretol CR, like about 600 milligrams. That's what's working for me. For everybody with bipolar that I know, they are taking different things. People are taking lithium, sodium valproate, like different stuff, but for me that's what's working for me. And it will, for anybody taking like newly diagnosed, taking medication, and you are having very bad side effects, sometimes the side effects subside, sometimes they don't. When they don't, it means it's not the right medication for you, and you need to tell your psychiatrist so they change it for you as soon as possible so that you get back to your normal life.
Okay, so you were there for 6 months, and then you were out, and then what is life like when you've been away from like everything for 6 months?
It was tough. I had to go back to school,
and everybody was chit-chatting about you. I
know, like, when you're passing, then the guys would just look at you and like I'll just imagine, oh god, these guys have my video and they're probably watching it. But my department, like, I was in the biomedical science department. I deferred for a year, so like my mates were ahead of me. But my juniors that are now my mates that I met, they were like an amazing bunch of people. I had like my buddies like Aaron, Ivan, and Robert. Robert was more than my buddy, but like,
god, shout out to you, Robert.
Yeah,
and
I call him Bobby Axel. We're still good friends, but like he was really my rock. Like when I was sick, he really did well. Like I put him through a lot, but he was really there for me. Like I think whoever I get married to, like, you need to go to Bobby for some coaching lessons, because like he really knows how to take good care.
I didn't marry Bobby yet. Or Bobby's married. It's not going to win.
You know, it's like I think we are very great friends, but like, you know, marriage will not be the thing for us.
If people are lying, they start to touch their hair. You're like, well, I think that Bobby and I
we both know like
you know what the deal is.
Yeah, we know what the deal is.
Okay. And what is the like most random like rumor about yourself that you've ever heard? Like the most random one that you were like, listen, wait, dear, I just a come out.
I don't know, like, do I even listen to those things?
You know, so how do you like block that shit out? It's like, be like, listen, how do you do that?
I don't know, I think I just have some natural tough skin, or
okay.
like, I don't know, like, I'm like, I always go like, from a very young age, like, I'm like, shit happens, like, you know.
It really does happen, honestly.
Shit happens.
I think also, when you own your shit, right?
Yeah.
It's very difficult for somebody, when you live your truth, right?
Yeah.
It's almost impossible for somebody to make you feel bad
about it.
It's not a secret. It's like, you know, when you eliminate the shame, the secrecy, it's like, it's not a secret.
Yeah.
I'm not
I think
ashamed.
that was one thing that inspired my advocacy. I'm like, you know, I'm gonna turn this thing around. Like, I'm not gonna walk anywhere and then people go like start pointing fingers at me. I'm like, yeah, I'm the one who, like, you know, stripped naked, said a whole lot of shit on Facebook, but that was bipolar disorder, and now I'm on my medication, I'm doing so well that other people are mentoring, taking care of their health and everything. I'm not gonna let this thing run me down at all. You know, like
that is what I love, because
I actually have an English name which is Lency, which I hardly use, but
okay, come on, Lency.
Lency means strength of a lioness, so that is like
very fitting.
my silent thing that rings in my ear. Like, I don't use it much because it's good. Whenever I need, I just, you know, put on my Lency, like Lency on fire mask, like, you know, the way Beyonce can be Sasha Fierce. Yeah, so like whenever you see me, like, you know, killing it out in the world, I'm not gonna come like Lency on fire.
I actually have 4 different alter egos, but this is not the channel or the video for that to get into it. But that is why I wanted to talk to you, because like I said, you're living your truth. It's inspiring because, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
In the society that we live in Ghana, in Accra, a lot of women, if they've had the misfortune of having maybe a body part exposed, having a scandalous story out there, or being different, not the norm, living fearfully and boldly, you don't quite make it through.
Yeah.
You don't get certain opportunities because they write you off. It is amazing to still be thriving after everything that has happened with you to you. To take that story and turn it and help others is like a true testament. Like, you're pretty badass.
So thank you. So to say, like, to say something, follow up to what, like, you know, Helen said. When something bad happens to you, first of all, like, mental health problems come with a lot of stigmatization, you know, from other people. But the first one is self-stigma. You have to understand what you're going through. You have to, you know, acknowledge all the things that you do when you are in that phase, and, like, you know, forgive yourself for whatever you do. Like, you know, I've forgiven myself for putting out those videos, making my family feel bad, my friends, whatever relationships that I brought chaos into, like maybe somebody in the husband or somebody in the friends, whatever chaos that I brought, I forgave myself. And then I tried not to look myself in the mirror and say bad things about myself. You know, there were times that I look in the mirror, I cry. I'm like, upon all the things that could happen to me in this world, why that? You know, why that? And, like, you know, people like see me as like the devil. Like, people say a whole lot of stuff about me on social media, and I'm like, fuck that. You know, I forgive you, Abena. I love you, Abena. People make mistakes. Whether you made a mistake or not, I forgive you and I love you, and I thank God for your life. Now, when you step out there, you know, when you step out there and you've forgiven yourself and you're confident in yourself, it reflects in how people will treat you. Because if, let's say, if I go somewhere and I'm feeling like the girl whose videos that were out there, who doesn't deserve opportunities, like whenever I have maybe an interview, an opportunity, I will actually shy away from it. But I worked on myself, I read books, I watched a lot of, I'm not too much of a reader, but tell like my YouTube channels, like I listen to Oprah and Maya Angelou, like, you know, phenomenal woman. That poem is amazing. You just listen to it, read it to yourself so many times, and just one day the heavens will open. I don't know how long it took me, but
you made it.
Yeah, I made it.
It works. I like that actually. I try and do that as well, but I'm gonna take that advice, because whenever I've seen you walk into a room, like you walk in with confidence.
Thank you. Sometimes my waist trainer.
Like you walk in, and if you ever had baggage, shame, confusion, I would have no idea. Like I said, I had no idea who you were. And to be honest, maybe it's because I'm also passionate about mental health. I've never bothered to look up that stuff. I mean, even if I did, I don't know that it makes any difference to me.
And please, the people who will always be bombarding me, that all my videos, they were sexy. Like, if it's
why do people message you with like videos still? Or
people do, like, you know,
what do they want you to say?
Like, people will be hollering me and stuff, like, you know, I want to take you out, and like, you know, and like I'm taking, like, you know.
So you're currently taking?
I'm taking, like, I'm madly in love.
Guys, I've been telling you on this channel that, as you guys know, love is dead. So let's all just stay in our little corner, okay? I've been telling you, find the exit door and exit, okay? Even your booga.
I gave her some of this advice, but you know,
thank
like,
you. Thank you. You told me, you were like, girl, listen.
But there's been a point, I'm that kind of girl that I could have 4 bays. Yes, I've had 4 bays before, and I could love all of them. Charlie, if I'm a creature, we are in love.
Girl, bye. House peeps, I've had Abena Korkor on OFG today. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Thank you so much for being on my channel. Like, obviously, you know I enjoy you, and I enjoy all the shit that you stand for. Like, you inspire me all the time.
Thank you.
You live boldly, you live fiercely, and it's all anybody can ask for. So, talk a little bit about this merch that we're wearing.
Don't ignore your mental health.
Do not ignore your mental health. So I have myself a nice little tee that I'm rocking. I'm loving it. I'll leave all the information down below if anybody wants some merchandise from Abena Korkor. But thank you so much for coming on the channel. And guys, if you enjoyed it, as always, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. I'll see you on the next video.